Yo, what's up, guys? I should I take these off because the reflection from this light it's cancer. Also, thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 200 subscribers. I didn't know I could really even reach that goal. I think about like a year ago, I was like 100. Even about like a few months ago, my Magi Fest video got me to 150 subscribers. And it's crazy, it's 200 now. And if you guys saw the intro, my next goal is 1,000. I only had it at like from 100 to 200 because I like to set my goals like incrementally. Instead of having this one huge goal, it just makes it harder to obtain. So for my 200 subscriber special, I want to tell you guys a story or like a big part of my life that your boy was pretty thick. Before I lost all the weight, around like 2014 was when I started changing my diet and everything. I was like around 260 pounds. It was insane. So my diet consisted of was very high caloric food. My mother, she would cook like everything with like absorbent amount of butter and salt and seasoning. Like the food was amazing, but it was just horrible. Like health wise, I would go back and like after I eat dinner, I would go back and get more. I would go for, every single night. I would go for seconds, or I'd even go for like a third after I ate dinner. It was crazy. If there was like cookies or anything, I would just eat those constantly. I would constantly eat until like I felt sick. I don't know why I would do it. I'm pretty sure I had like a severe eating disorder that wasn't like medically like prescribed. Also, on top of that, not just my mother, my uncle, my uncles on my mother's side are very very health conscious. They're like big like muscular guys. It's like insane. And I would go to my uncle's house. My brother and I were the only boys in our family. We would he would come pick us up during like school vacations, like President's Day weekend, spring vacation, summer vacation, like all those vacations. We would drive to Uncle Mikey's house and spend like a week or two there. And before we would go to our uncle's house, he would actually pick us up from our home. We would drive to the grocery store near his house and then go home. And this man would buy like those big like variety like massive cookie packages like with I don't know like 50 cookies that were like this big from BJ's. Oh god, it was insane. We would eat those the entire weekend, and every single weekend the white chocolate ones were always left between three people. He would sometimes get a cake. Sometimes my grandmother would cook him like a rum cake, and we would eat that. We would have pancakes. We would have ice cream for dinner. We had like waffles and ice cream for breakfast, like insane stuff like that. But that was like 2010, around there, about a decade ago. So my uncle, he works in a jail and he never has time off. Sometimes he would get a vacation, but usually he would be working during that time period, and we would like watch movies, play video games. So he used to do the night shift, so he used to go to work around like 11, I think around like 11 at night, and come home around like 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I actually switched where he had the morning shifts and then come back during that night. And during those like day shifts, I remember I had an Xbox 360, the big white one. So we would take our Xbox, bring it to Uncle Mikey's house, we will hook it up, and I swear to God, I swear, I would play Far Cry 3 from the moment that man left until he came home. And I didn't turn it off because Uncle Mikey was home. I had to turn it off because he told me to turn it off, because he would come in and yell at me like, dude, I left and you were playing that game, and I come back in the house, you're still playing that same fucking game. One of the funny things that I learned, I was always like a bigger kid. I was always made fun of because of my weight and things like that, even through like elementary and middle school and stuff. I remember I used to go to like this summer camp that was near my house where I used to live in Boston. There was a kid that we used to like hang out with. He was a little bit older. Yeah, I'd been like 10. The kid was probably like 14, 15, and he was a little bit bigger. And he taught me it was actually, if you wear clothes that are a little bit bigger, it makes you look a bit smaller. And also, funny enough, this is one of the my old shirts here. And this shirt is, look how big this shirt is. This is an extra large. I thought this was a double XL. This shirt, I think this is a medium. What is this? This is my brother got me this for my birthday, if I remember correctly. So this is a large. So this one here is a large here. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. 200 subscribers. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, this is an extra large. Look how much bigger this one is. It's super dingy, and this is like super old. But I don't know if I stretched it out or like the sizing of it is just off, just weird. But yeah, I would always wear much bigger clothes. So at my biggest point was around like 260, probably even more, because I started exercising and people were telling me I was losing weight, and I was around like 256. I remember the first time I weighed myself, it was 256, like after I was already exercising. So I'm pretty sure I was around like 260, probably like 265, probably pushing 270. And I remember going like to the doctors and doing physicals and things like that at the doctor's for my primary. And I remember there was this one time where like the doctor had like this chart. I don't know, I think it was like it wasn't like a BMI chart. It was kind of like a BMI chart. It was something a little bit different. It was like, oh hey, yeah, you know, like kids around like your son's age, like they're usually around like this weight here. Yeah, your son's like all the way up here. It was like green, yellow, and then like red, and I was like in the fucking danger zone. It was insane. It was crazy how much I weighed back then. But like at my heaviest is around like 2013, 2014. And this is when I was like heavy into like my movie phase. I'm still kind of in that. Well, I still love watching movies and things like that. But like back then, all I did was just watch movies all day, and I had them on my cell phone. I would just lay down and watch movies the entire day, or watch television shows. Like I would literally spend entire weekends. I know the entirety of like 2013, 2012, 2013. I would literally like rent, like I used to go to the my local library that was like down the street from my house. I'd walk there, rent like the season of Dexter, go home and watch that, and then like finish that, and then start playing Modern Warfare 3, and then turn that off, and then put back on more Dexter, and then put in more like Breaking Bad and different things like that. And I was just cooped up in my basement, just watching movies and TV shows constantly and laying down, not doing anything. One show that basically almost ruined my entire like physique, well, it kind of did. It was Smallville. I wanted to watch Smallville because I was watching the television show Arrow, and it was about to have the Flash and everything, and I just wanted to know the show before like I jumped really deep into Arrow, because I loved Arrow at the time. And that TV show, it was 10 seasons. Each season had like 23 episodes, and each episode's like an hour, 45 minutes long. So I spent like my entire summer of like 2014 going downstairs, eating like some sugary cereal, and like my mother would get like these really terrible like off-brand cereal, like those, like they don't even come in a box, they come in like the big huge bags. I forgot, I don't know if it's Market Basket, but they'll mix two cereals that have no business being mixed together. Like there was one, I think it was something like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It had the marshmallows from Lucky Charms, and it was just all this sugar and with milk on top of that.
He doesn't need milk, dude.
It was so disgusting. I don't even know why we even ate it. I think I didn't even like it back then, because you just get this hit of just insane amount of sugar. Like I would have like 2 bowls of that, and then I would watch like 2-3 episodes of Smallville, and then I would go back downstairs and I'll eat like 2 packages of ramen noodles. I could barely eat like 1. Like even 1 is too much for me. I would do that, I would eat and then lay back down, and then my mother would make dinner, and I'll go eat like 2 plates of that, and then I'll go back and watch Smallville. That was like 90% of like my entire like 2014 summer, and that was like around my junior to senior year. And the funny thing was, I was going out exercising. I've had friends around my local town. I would like walk there, I would skateboard there, I would constantly be at the library doing stuff there going around, like going and renting movies, and it wasn't too far. It was probably like a mile apart, 2 miles. I was walking, things like that. Pretty good exercise, but my diet was just so up here. Like the exercise basically didn't even matter. I was also in marching band at the time, which is a lot of exercise too. But like before I would go to practice, there's actually a Shaw's literally right in front of my high school. We would like go and get like muffins that were like this big, or like cinnamon rolls that were like massive, and like eat those before practice. I don't even know how I did not have a heart attack. And like they would give you a bunch of sugar there too. Oh god, I can't. This is how fat I was also. I was so lazy to go into like some classes that we also had blood drives, and you could go in there, and I think you had to been like 18 to actually give blood. So I went to go give blood, and after you could get to skip class, and on top of that, you also get like a shitload of like candy and cupcakes, because if you have low blood sugar, they can't have like minors passing out in a school. So they give you like all this candy and stuff. You get to skip class. That is just like any high schooler's dream, any child's dream, honestly. Well, anyone's dream. Constantly, I just felt sick. I always felt like depressed. I always felt off. Nothing felt right. I always felt gross constantly. I was always uncomfortable with myself or how I looked. And one of the things I really hated about myself, this sounds so sad. My kitchen used to be like downstairs, bedroom upstairs. It's a flight of stairs. It's probably like what, 10, 15, probably even less than that. Probably like 10, yeah, probably like 10, 15 steps. I was completely out of breath walking to my bedroom, and I was just like, my heart rate was up, and I was just like going up the stairs. It was disgusting. And also around that time, I was watching like a lot of television, and I was hanging out with a lot of people. And when we would hang out, we would just go to like corner stores and buy candies and fruit snacks. And I used to drink like those big Arizonas, like they're for $1. And also Shaq had like his own flavor. I would drink those. We would get the gallons of the Arizonas. We used to drink like so much shit. And also like my one of my buddies, Elijah, he would have like parties at his house or like get-togethers, and it was just candy, and they'll make brownies. Yeah, one of my other friends, Mercedes, would make brownies and stuff like that. Oh god, just thinking about it. And the day that literally changed everything for me, my mother, she literally was like, oh hey, we're gonna go out for a little bit. I'm like, oh okay, I guess I get to watch Smallville in the car or whatever. So my mother took me. We drove like 5 minutes. So we pull up to this workout world, and my mother's like, yeah dude, we're gonna sign you up for a gym membership here. And I was like, cool. And like I was actually surprised with myself that I wasn't like apprehensive about it, because I was very lazy. I was super lazy, but I was just tired of feeling sick all the time, people making fun of me. I kind of got over it when I was in high school. When you're in high school, you kind of get to this point of like, I don't fucking care anymore. I was just tired of feeling sick and looking sick, and constantly like depending on like food to actually like feel okay about myself. So actually my mother and I, we actually both got gym memberships there, and the same exact day. So I would go there constantly, and she would go there sometimes, because my mother also had problems with weight, but she got very sick later on and lost a ton of weight from being sick and not eating and things like that. But with me, I would go to the gym. I try to go to the gym probably like 3 times a week, and what I would do, I honestly, even still to this day, I don't like doing weights, but I actually like doing cardio. And I think it's because marching band also helped with that, was that basically you're just walking around, running around, and you're also playing an instrument, which is very taxing on your body. So towards the end of like 2014, actually towards like the end of the summer of 2014, I just started working out. I love the elliptical. The elliptical was like an amazing machine for me, because I could take Smallville and just put it right on the elliptical, and I could just work out. And I didn't feel like I was laying down and not doing anything. and that still affects me now, even during this quarantine, is that I can't sit down and watch like a TV show or a movie without doing something else. I feel like I'm just wasting time, or I'm just being lazy at this point. So I would sit down, I would put on like an episode of like The Flash or Arrow or Smallville, and I'll put that on, and I'll just be on elliptical for like 45 minutes doing that. Probably do a little bit of weights and skedaddle, and I would walk home, which is even more exercise on top of that. And sometime, like when school started, I would go straight from the high school, go straight to the gym, which was literally like across. It was right behind the Shaw, so it was technically also across the street too. And after working out for like the first like month or two, like everything was different. I would get up on time for school. I was way more active. I was much better at marching band because like there are times where my teacher would tell us to do laps. We wouldn't do full laps around the because we had a entire track at our high school. We wouldn't run the entire thing. We would run about halfway and then cut through. I could even do that. It was like you run around, you cut through it. I think we did it around like twice, which is about like half a mile, and I could not do it. I would run for like probably like 45 seconds solid and just stop. Also, what really helped me too was I would bring some of my friends to the gym with me. Like one of my friends, Jensen, he was actually, I think he used to be in football and like he stopped because he was too busy. I think he was like trying to get more, studying more for college, if I remember correctly. And we would go to the gym, and this man would give me one of the most intense workouts. Like, it was insane. Like, he would give me like a weight vest and all this shit. He would do like those when you're laying on your back and you're holding onto a pole and you have your legs straight out, and he would stand behind you, and like shit, you would kick your legs up, and he'll push them down, and you have to like go back up and keep kicking your legs up like this, force you down. And like, oh god, if it wasn't for Jensen, I probably would have quit the gym. But like, oh god, he was such a great help. Another friend, Sean Keegan, would come out, and we would work out for like 2 hours there. I that's the longest I've been to the gym. Like, we would spend like almost like 2-3 hours at the gym, like just doing a whole bunch of shit. And on top of that, I knew I had to change my diet, so I didn't really like change what I was eating. My caloric intake was just way less. Instead of eating like 2 or 3 like plates of food, I would just have one, and even way less than what I used to eat. I can't really do carbonated drinks anymore. I don't like soda. I really don't. Sometimes it's only on like very, very special occasions I would drink it. Candy, I just stopped eating candy. I stopped eating like sugary foods. I stopped eating like donuts and things like that. Nowadays, I still eat it like now and then sometimes, but I just couldn't. I just stopped because when I still don't know why some people do this. Every now and then I do it sometimes, but like when you're working out and you feel good, your heart rate's up, you feel much better, and like you just have people that they have a cheat day and they gorge on like candy and soda and chips and everything for like an entire day. And like I can't do that. Like I would probably have like on a cheat day I'll have like a Pop-Tart, or like I would have like a Jack and Coke or something like that, or like a piece of cake. But like there are people that eat like an entire cake for their cheat day. More around like when 2015 rolled around, I dropped like a significant amount of weight. Like you can see my face got a lot skinnier. My clothes were getting they were already a little bit too big, and now they're getting way too big. Around like graduation, I went from like a XL, like a double XL, to an XL, and I went to like a large. It got much crazier a few years later. I was driving, I had my own car, I just dropped a bunch of weight. I was around like 188, around there. That's probably the smallest I've ever been. It was 188 that I can remember. Oh, I used to have a lot of like family members, like aunts and uncles, to make fun of me for my weight, and like they wouldn't see me for like 3, 4, 5 years, and they see me and they go like, holy shit, like what the fuck happened to you? They could see like my around my neck right here. That's like the most profound thing. This totally changed. I used to have like a double chin, and it's always super awkward. Like anyone who graduated high school, one things that you don't want to do is, as an adult, is to run into someone you used to know in high school, especially if you look totally different, because that's the only thing they're gonna bring up now. Because a lot of people, they come up to me like, "Oh my God, Cedric, you lost so much weight, you look so much better," and they run through like a whole script, like, yeah, work out, I eat like chicken breast now and brown rice. Also, when I moved out, I had to change my entire diet. I did change my diet once I got a job because I could buy my own things. And like, when you live in a house with other people don't give a shit about your possessions. They'll literally just take whatever. So once I moved out, the only thing that was in my house was like yogurt, chicken breast, vegetables, brown rice, oatmeal, raisin bran, just a bunch of boring shit that no one would like to eat. I didn't really have that many snacks in my house. I'll probably have like popcorn, like kettle corn, but it's only like if I sat down and watch a movie. And like if there were chips, they're usually like the veggie chips or different things like that. So my lesson for you today is that if you are suffering with like a weight problem or something that like, or some type of addiction, because I had like a really bad addiction to food. I know there's a lot of people out there that do have severe weight problems. I do have other family members that do have that problem with food, or like heart conditions. Is that I would say definitely go to a gym and like try it out. Also, I would say don't like immediately change your food. I would say try to eat less of it, and definitely go to the gym and like try to work out for a little bit and see how much better you feel. And the next time you have like an M&M or like a Reese's Pieces or some type of candy, you're gonna feel like complete dog shit. That's the one thing that ultimately like made me like change, was that it just didn't appeal to me anymore. Sometimes like I know when you have that craving, it's like last night I'm sitting there watching a movie and I really wanted one of the milkshake Pop-Tarts in my cabinet. I end up eating one, but yeah, okay, I had like a Pop-Tart. But there are people, I used to have problems where I would eat like half of the goddamn box of Pop-Tarts, and then the next day eat the other half and finish it within 2 days. And like, it was just, you feel ashamed of yourself. It's basically, I would say definitely start out with cutting back, and also like do incremental steps. Don't completely like change your diet and then like totally like work out like 7 days, 9 days a week. And that's how you basically start hating doing it, because you didn't like lead up to it. You basically just did this completely shift to your body that your body's just gonna hate. So guys, that is it. Yeah, I was pretty big. I was a big boy. Yeah, I thank you guys for so much for 200 subscribers, and I feel like I'm still in the process of trying to lose more weight, because I was around like 260. My smallest has been 188, and currently during this whole quarantine is around like 200, and like it keeps going back and forth because I've been trying to do workouts at home, but it's very difficult because my landlord's actually downstairs, and like if I try to do burpees in the house, basically her chandeliers like shake, and I don't want to get evicted during this quarantine. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much. Onward to 1,000 subscribers, just 800. Well, I got an extra subscriber, 799 more to go. Thanks guys, see ya.